ADCO started in the early 80s. It was started by my father, who was in construction. So it got some early liftoff from the Ann Arbor area, some early automotive business. We've just kind of grown to a certain point through the years. We very diversified. Even though we're in the automotive capital, we are not heavily automotive. There's a lot of other diagnostic tools, etc., that come out of the automotive industry that's really helped us. And we got into the aerospace, which is a big part of our business. We carry the AS certification, we carry the IATF automotive certification because we're in Detroit, and then we carry the ISO basic certification. So we have the ITAR registration. We concentrate on complex assemblies and have a very good logistics system here. Good ERP, everything's bar-coded, not a lot of paper. If you go out in the plant, you don't see a lot of paper. Everything's electronic. All the inventories in vertical storage systems. And we have a really good manufacturing engineering and test engineering team.
Well, we had customers originally that had asked questions about SPI, and we were doing it. At that time, we didn't see there was any value to it. So we had replaced a lot of our equipment with newer equipment, and we decided to take the plunge. Initially, the plunge was Co-Young had offered to bring some equipment in free and let us play with it. They also brought in Ray to help us understand the equipment. Once that happened and we got past that initial stage, then it was a question of how did we run so long without it.
All this optics has helped us, so not only with the Co-Young systems, but also just reel counting. We just put in a new optic system on incoming inspections to optically read the labels. So anything we can do to, just like the through-hole inspection system, if we can automate it and make it more scientific versus human, then it's a better system all around.
What we noticed originally was it gave us the security of running day-to-day boards. So we knew nothing was getting past it that didn't have pace or didn't have the volume that we looked for. From that point, we started to reach out to say, what could it do on the front part of the business? So in other words, before we built the board, the design phase, it really allowed us then to understand much better how the printer worked, how the stencils worked in correlation with that. And then as we're doing an engineering review up front, it allows us a better opportunity to understand what objectives we want to achieve, what the certain parts need, what are the requirements of the board, of the components on the board. Maybe you need certain pace in one area, you need a little less in a different area. So it allows us now to have that exposure to apertures and change that. Once we're done with that, we're able to predict it, but then now we're able to come out, put it on the line, and actually visualize it. But now we're actually getting measurements, we're actually getting the data we need. Very critical on hidden joints. So BGA, QFN, those types of parts. You know, not only is it there, but how much is there? What is there and what's it doing for us? So when you take that on top of cross-sectioning and testing of that nature, it really levels it out to make the whole puzzle complete now.
There's a really good support, and Co-Young has that name recognition as being the best. And then when we got the SPI, we leveraged that to do the through-hole AOI. So it's really worked out well.
Go, no go could be as easy as is it there or not there. Okay, that really doesn't tell you the issue. The issue is how much is there, and is the requirement what you're looking for. It feeds back a lot on the AOI equipment. You know, the same thing there. If I know what's going on up here, I can predict better what's going on down there. So it's a much better control of the front end of the process, which is critical.
They see the Co-Young name and they pretty much can turn around and say, okay, we're good. I don't need to see anymore. So we've had that a couple times.
Some of our new products require intense engineering care throughout the whole entire process. And we use this Co-Young thing to help us out really well. Some of the things that I do is verify, stencil the stencil over here in the speed print, and we verify heights.
They're easy to set up, they're easy to program, the operators can learn very quickly, and they enjoy it.
Programming with Koyoung is really easy. They integrate the EPM software, and then they install their own C editor on top of it that translates the output from EPM to make it a machine program.
If we get a bad reading, not only do we understand exactly where it's bad, we can then correlate it back to why it might be bad.
Yeah.
So it stops it right now. It allows us time to react to that immediately and then proceed only with good product.
It's actually very good data. You know, we been able to see most of our problems in the screen printer, whether that be board support or things like that. We also can determine if we have end-of-line defects, and we can trace them back to a problem with the screen printer, or we actually found problems with the boards.
Okay.
Sometimes board stretch is an issue, and the Koyoung is able to detect that for us.
It's been great for us because we would send something, say we close at 3:30. We send something out, we come in the next day, there's your answer. There's a new algorithm, there's a new thing to try. So we can pick right up where we left off that next day and keep going.
And it does win the contract if you're doing the samples and everything. So it is a good thing, and I don't know how we would do it without it because it's just so challenging. And it still is. We still have challenges, you know, with all the dimensions, but I don't know where we would be without it.
We've looked at the conformal coating measurement equipment. We've looked at, you know, we put down different levels of epoxy, stuff like that. How do we measure that? You know, what kind of numbers can we get off that? Again, measuring the pace, which we never thought we would have to do. Now that we're doing it, we found benefits beyond just the measurement. Is it there or is it not there? And now we want to try to move those to other areas as well.
I don't know how we could have done it without it, with all the small dimensional, you know, challenges and the tight designs. But the fact that we're not having the defects speaks volumes.
They have really created a good partnership with us. They've been there when we needed them. So I can call them, I don't have any issues. I haven't had to call for service. I'd like to see how they support that actually, but I haven't needed it.